Hey YouTube, Pat for This Land Mountain here. I'm going to show you how I'm getting my wildflower garden ready for the next spring and cycle coming through. Maybe you'll see behind me, and definitely right next to me, throughout fall and winter I left all of the dead and dying husks of all of my plants to stand and let be. There's a number of reasons for that. First off, these plants are going to be pushing nectar to the last minute because they want bees, butterflies, and birds to pop on by and gather up that pollen to spread the seed. And speaking of seeds, that's what brings the birds. Each one of these flowers seeds out, and that's what attracts the birds in the fall. That's what's going to bring them to provide beauty and wildlife into your garden. So I leave these for as long as possible. I can confidently say these have all seeded out, they're done, and I can get rid of them. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to get rid of them. So here I have my Hory trusted gardening tool, and I'm not going to pull these up by the roots. It may seem like an unnecessary amount of effort. I want to get the dead husks off of the ground so that I can pave way for the seedlings that are starting to come up. They'll have less competition for sunlight, and frankly they'll probably push up and get out just fine. I just want to make it easier, and it does help keep things a little bit prettier. If you want to be a true and dedicated xeriscaper, native gardener, however you want to go about it, leave them down, leave them dead. They're going to get beaten down over time. They're going to become food for the worms and the bacteria underground and provide more and more fertilizer for your plants. That's beautiful. I want it to be a little prettier. That's okay. Whatever you want to do, I encourage you to do it. The smallest bit's going to help in the long run for everyone. I'm going to top them because, like I mentioned before, these plants provide food to the bacteria and the worms that are under the soil, which in turn provide nutrients, nitrogen, sulfur, all of that the plants use to come back up and grow later. The roots underneath are what's going to do that. That's why I want to leave those underground. Whatever bio-organic material I can leave, the better. So I'll show you my approach to dealing with that, and let's get to it. Now this may or may not be a no-brainer for you, but I'm going to show you the technique just the same, the one I use. If you have a better way of managing your garden, feel free to share that and better the education of everyone else. Here, I've got the serrated edge of my Hory. I'm just dragging it across this material and peeling it back. As I do so, we're getting more and more seeds falling down on the ground. That's great. They're just going to grow some more material for the birds to come by and pick up if they want. They've been hungry over the winter. And I'm just opening up this space. And you can already see down underneath I got some guys coming up and starting to grow. So I mean, you got a little bit of stuff popping up out of the ground, no big deal, not the end of the world. I've got all these leaves that have been building up from the trees in the neighborhood. I'm gonna let those stay there because frankly they're not hurting anything and they're not so grotesque. Oops, got some roots there. They're not so grotesque that they're gonna be ruining the beauty of my garden at the end of the day. Now, in this area, I do have a non-annual plant. It is my Echinacea purpurea. So I'm trying to make sure I did top that a little earlier before winter, so it should be fine. I'm going to leave that area alone. And I'm going to keep going. All those seeds, this is going to explode. Those bees are going to be happy. Here's a little hunk of the roses I took out. So there you have it. It's pretty straightforward. All I'm doing, peeling back the dead, finding the base, and sawing it off down at the bottom. If you have a different approach to doing it. You can use pruners, you can use scissors, you can use a sharpened shovel or trowel. Whatever your approach, I promise you none of them are truly wrong. The ultimate goal, cut off the tops, leave the roots underneath, open up the soil and space for water and sunlight, you're gonna be fine. So good luck out there preparing your garden. We'll see you around.